as always, it is Will's Toy Clearance.
Hello there.
And Lard Maker.
Hello.
And hopefully every week will be jdub.exe.
Hello.
We are looking at the build-up to the Melbourne Grand Prix, what's happened in the past, and then also the build-up to the Bahrain Grand Prix. But that's all whilst we're doing this stream on a Saturday night, whilst playing the F1 2018 game, and that has really confused me because I'm hearing ticking in my noise in the background, which means the game started, and I didn't know we'd all hit okay to go. But let's just kick this off, guys. Starting off with the week that's happened so far, let's look back at Melbourne. How you guys thought of Melbourne? What you guys thought of it? Who wants to start?
All right, I guess.
Nobody wants to go first.
Someone will go first.
It was that good.
It was that good.
I would honestly say in the last maybe 5 or 6 years, it's the first time I've been genuinely excited for the rest of the season to happen.
Right.
I'd agree.
That much stuff actually going on, but also the race direction in terms of what was being covered in the program itself, rather than just focusing on the front, was a hell of a lot better than it has been for a couple of years.
Right. It's a good one. A good one to start with. Hello, Michael Patterson, one in the chat. Hello, how are you doing? What about you, lad? What do you think?
It was all right. It wasn't, to me, anything special in terms of a race. I mean, it felt like it was, par for the course with the people who were in front. I did like Lando Norris. He was impressive in McLaren, and McLaren seems to have improved since last year. And the Red Bull with the Honda seemed to be good as well.
I agree completely. Although we'll talk about Bahrain in regards to that, but I think McLaren have made some huge leaps and bounds this year. They've got the car that they needed, really. Will, your standout points?
Best Australia for a few years, for sure. Again, not showing what pre-season testing suggested, which was a nice surprise. The midfield being, within a second of each other? Most of qualifying, and then the race was pretty close as well. Still showing they can't really overtake in Melbourne, but it's one of those tracks, isn't it? So we've still got to wait to see if these new regulations are helping. And I was pretty pleased with it. It was, 6 out of 10.
Well, it's very much like a track like, very much like Monaco, really, isn't it? It's very tight. Well, I suppose Monaco is where you qualify is where it's important, but it is a very difficult track. It's a unique track, as Melbourne, really. I must admit, I thought it was good. And what do you guys think about the extra point for the fastest lap? What do you guys think about that?
I like that. It was a good idea.
I think it's too early to decide whether it will work or not, because you've got a case of it only applies to people in the top 10, which I don't necessarily agree with. But at the same time, that does prevent the lower teams like grinding their engine right up as far as it can and just taking a point and making it redundant. But if it turns out that the person who's first gets the fastest lap on a regular basis, then what was the point?
That's true, actually. You do have a valid point. Anyone who's in the chat, if you do want to leave a question, you are more than welcome to leave a question in chat, and we'll get around to reading that as well. So let's talk about the results of Melbourne. Let's talk about Bottas. Fantastic victory, half a minute clear of the rest of the field. Is it the return of the old Valtteri Bottas, or has he found something from last season that's given him a bit more of a oomph?
I think this is the first season he's been allowed off the reins in terms of being the second driver at Mercedes.
Yeah.
In that he was brought in after Rosberg. Obviously after Rosberg had retired, and then it seemed very much the season before was let's get Hamilton back on top rather than let's bring in a driver who could challenge for anything kind of thing.
Yeah.
whereas now he's been told go out there for yourselves kind of thing.
Yeah. That makes sense. So you feel it's a bit more balanced out there rather than it's just favouring Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean there is still going to be. I mean Hamilton's the defending champion now.
Yes,
it's always going to have a case of Hamilton is first driver. It's just how it works. But I don't think definitely at least this early on in the season, if Bottas starts somehow running away with it, they're going to have to back him instead, and that'd be interesting if Hamilton can deal with that as well, because it won't be a position he'll be used to being in.
That's a good shout, actually. We know what he's like when he's behind. He tends to be a bit more spitting out his dummy effect, really.
Yeah, I mean, we can get onto it later on in terms of discussion of Bahrain and that kind of reactionaryism of Hamilton. But, yeah, there's definitely going to change in Hamilton as well, but we can get to that later.
Yeah. What about you two? Well, what about you, Will? Toy clearance, Will. What do you think with Bottas? Similar opinion?
I mean, to be fair to Bottas, he was sort of brought in as a last-minute thing in the season. He replaced Nico because he's sort of done a Daniel Ricciardo. Nobody expected Nico to retire as such. So his first year was always going to be a bit tough.
Yeah.
Then, you've still got to have that car built round you still.
Yes.
So it's not exactly the first year's the easiest when you've actually, had that year in the team. It's like Haas at the minute. It takes so many seasons before the car gets comfy to the drivers, comfy to the team. So I think Bottas has done well, and this is probably the first season where he could push.
Yeah.
And the pressure's off him as well. So it is a different Bottas. And he still looks quite healthy with it.
He does. What about you, lad?
Well, it was a real dominant performance from Bottas in Australia. There was just there's no two ways about it. Since qualifying, he was off and running, and so is this breakout season? Time will tell. I think Bahrain will be the bit that will tell us a bit more. If he beats Hamilton tomorrow, then yeah, I'll start to tend to agree with you that it could be, this is the season where he's just unleashed. I think it's too early to tell though, because we still haven't seen Hamilton come alive yet.
Okay. Yeah. Good points all round. I mean, I haven't really contributed to anything really, but I think this is the best we've seen Bottas in since his Williams days, if I'm honest. He seemed like he had a lot of confidence. He pretty much had the whole weekend, didn't he? He didn't really put a foot wrong all weekend, and that's the Bottas that I remember from the Williams days when he partnered up with Massa.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:32.
Yeah, I think we'll see how it gets on for the rest of the season, really. Let's talk about the Hamilton now. There was something about wrong strategy. Was it a wrong strategy from Mercedes for bringing him in early to cover off Vettel? And now subsequently we know he had damage to the floor as well. Is it that, I know it's only one race in, but again with Bahrain, is it just getting to him already?
It's way too early in the season to suggest it's getting to him. Did they actually show anybody the damage to the floor, or is that all smoke and mirrors?
They showed it.
They didn't see pictures of it, so there was something there.
But is it as bad as they were making it out to be? Or are they just using it as an excuse in the kind of keep the press happy by telling them something kind of thing?
Without being an aero expert, it's hard to say, I guess. 'Cause
yeah.
how these cars have developed now, every small piece means so much.
I think
it was some chunk out the floor.
It was a chunk at the back, wasn't it? It looked like a flap off the back that was missing from that Wednesday night show that Ted Kravitz does. That's why I saw it. That seemed to be the only chunk, but again, it's going back to the strategy, really, wasn't it? What was it? Was it lap 12 he came in?
It did seem slightly early, definitely.
What do you think, lad?
I don't know. From the sound of it, it sounded like there was a weird sort of problem as well going on with his car, rather than just strategy. From what I saw earlier, I don't know. Yeah, the flaw could have been a contributing factor to it. I just think the car wasn't fast enough for him to match Bottas. I thought Bottas was just too good for him on that day.
Yeah,
I wouldn't use that as an excuse, and he just got beaten.
That's good. Yeah, I think fair and square, really. A couple of things come through from Michael Patterson. One, I think they should extend the bonus point for the entire field. That's his thought on that extra fastest lap bonus point. And on a side note, it's good to see Codemasters releasing their F1 game earlier this season compared to last year. I didn't know.
Yeah, June 30th.
June 30th.
Yeah, June 30th is when they're releasing it.
I do have some exciting news about that.
Oh, do tell. Now's a good time to say.
Well, one of my favourite YouTubers, Arav, did a release video because he's, he's been with Codemasters a while. F2 is in the new game that they've been developing for 2 years.
Oh.
If you look at the trailer, the last car is an F2 car. The wing's different. There's the shark tail on it, the fin. So F2, in what some form, will be in 2019. As well as a fully customisable car, so you can change the livery, the colour, all that sort of stuff. And they've been working with F1.
A blank team.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I don't know what the extent on Xbox and PS4 will be for customisation, but PC mods are excited. Because, of course, on PC mode you can change all the graphics and all sorts, but that is coming to console as well. In some form.
I expect a lovely JWZ blue car coming to you next year.
Oh,
yes.
Tracker racing on its way.
I'm going to try and get the Tig Whippy logo on ours.
I'm more worried about the idea of the JWZ logo face of myself and Ibsy just slap bang in the middle of the nose cone.
I thought you'd do it like BAR a few years when they first launched. Do one side your face, the other side Ibsy's.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. I'll do that on the helmet.
But yeah, exciting news for the new game. Very exciting.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that one. And this game's brilliant. Every game they've done has been a better game. Near lost it there. Had a bit of a tank slapper.
That was good.
Okay. Ferrari. Now, there's more chat about Ferrari coming up with Bahrain, but let's talk about Ferrari themselves. Pretty much a minute behind Bottas. What was going on there?
We don't know. We still don't know.
It's too early to call.
Yeah.
Again, unfortunately. It'd be interesting to see if Mercedes end up being anywhere near that far behind here at Bahrain.
Sorry.
Before you can really judge whether that's a gap in development or it's just down to how the track was behaving on the first race of the season.
Yeah.
Plus, race conditions are completely different to quali. So Ferrari, obviously, the one-lap pace reliability for a Ferrari, you'd expect it to be good, but for higher engine modes in the race, it's a different animal to attack, and they've not really tried that in testing because you can't. So it's still full of unknowns, isn't it? Every team's going, we're still developing, we're still testing, we haven't got, which is nice.
Well, every team except Williams, who have started developing.
They've not turned up yet, have they?
That's the best way of describing my reaction to that.
They've hired the garage, but they've not done anything with it. That's what they've done.
Tracker, is that you pulling out of a lap? Or are you trying to find some air?
I'm right behind Grosjean, but I'm going down the back straight.
I've just nearly come right up behind you, that's all.
Sorry, I kind of cocked up the lap there. So that was my flying lap. I'm just going to have to hold off this and just wait until Q2. So, yeah, Ferrari are a weird one, aren't they? Because they're the ones that have more blackouts on press and everything like that than anything else. And you've got some suspicions as well, if I'm honest. Oh, hello. T-Falling20 is now hosting my stream. Thank you very much for the host, buddy. That came through quite loud. They're the ones that shone the media more, don't they, really? And as I say, Will, you've got a theory behind Bahrain, which we'll get into when we get to Bahrain. But like I say, it's only race 1 that we've had fully completed. Race 2. Oh, few more on the clouds now hosted this one. Thank you very much for the host.
So far, our fastest
What about...
lap is a 1:32.
I'm waiting for this one because I've seen it on the chat. Michael Patterson 1. Thank you very much for the host. There we go. Thank you very much for the host. It's all sincere. What about...
Weston Murray Walker trying to get to the end of a question.
I know. It's bad, isn't it? Oh, Keelan Hampson, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome along. Red Bull. Now, is that their true pace? What we've seen on the track with Verstappen finishing 3rd? Is that do we think that's their true pace, or do you think that it's the circuit that's suited for them, or what do we think, guys? What do we think with Red Bull Honda?
Short answer, that's Red Bull's true pace.
Right. Okay.
Which
I don't know,
half of Red Bull?
I think Australia was flattering them a little bit at the moment. I think that they've still got a lot of improvement to do. But for Honda, that's a massive improvement. Much better from them.
Thank you very much for the host, Saul. Thank you very much. Yeah, I McLaren fan, it hurts me to say that Honda are doing extremely well with Red Bull, but they've still...
There's 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I want them to fail, but the pace they've got on the car is really good. Evening, John, in the chat, by the way. Hello. Yeah. Speaking of Red Bull, Gasly. Now we're going to get onto Bahrain with this as well, but Gasly.
I think he's doing rather ghastly.
There are better people that could be in that seat.
Yeah.
I think he should have stayed at Toro Rosso for another season.
John in the chat's gone. Gasly underperforming at the minute. Evening, Tim. Evening, Tim. How are you doing? You all right? Yeah, I think so. I agree with you. I think he could have done with staying in the junior team. I think he got promoted too fast. I think because of the shock of Ricciardo going across to Renault, I think they just ran out of options and they thought, go for it. They probably didn't want to take on Fernando Alonso because it's Alonso.
Alonso probably didn't want to take on Red Bull, to be fair.
No, true. With the Honda side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'll go. I know I said we were going to talk about this in the second half, but let's focus on Gasly. He's had a bad race for so far for Red Bull Honda, finishing outside the points behind Danny Kvyat in the Toro Rosso. In the Toro Rosso. He's had a abysmal qualifying in Bahrain. Is it going to be sooner or later we're going to be seeing Kvyat go back up to Red Bull? Or do we think it could be...
I think that is a worse option, that's the thing. I mean, I know I say there are better people to have his seat. Kvyat is not one of them.
Right.
I completely agree.
Yeah, same.
Kvyat shouldn't even be back at all, personally.
I mean, scraping the bottom of the barrel or what?
So who would go in then? Who would you say would be suited for that second Red Bull?
Albon, actually.
Albon. Oh,
Albon
good
was
shout.
showing pretty well, yeah.
I'd have probably asked for a
switch
deal
him
with things to
directly
get
over.
Ocon in there
Get
If it
Ocon.
wasn't for Ocon being,
in
Is
Formula
it-
E.
yeah,
Linked to Mercedes, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can
Money
even
talks.
go and pick up
Money
Sam
talks
Bird
in
if you really
F1.
want.
John in the chat's gone. Joe Miro 17. Thank you very much for your question. Your statement. Red Bull Young Driver Program doesn't have strength in depth currently, which is why Gasly was promoted to the main team too early, and Kvyat returning to Toro Rosso. And Michael Patterson once saying, "Crashy Kvyat shouldn't be on the grid at all." To be fair though, let's give Kvyat credit where credit's due. He got a sturdy 10th in Australia, and he held off Gasly as well. He's
He
got
did have
some
a bit
talent.
of an off.
Mm.
He did completely miss a corner again.
Well, yeah.
If there'd been a car there, can you imagine what would have happened media-wise if he'd hit somebody else again in his first race back? I'm not saying he's the worst choice at the minute for Red Bull, but he needs to keep it clean. Otherwise, the press will be all over it.
He's another Maldonado, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
was going to say that.
They're supposed to be in the same minds. Oh dear.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, if that was the case, why not get Maldonado, see if he'd come back? But, you know.
Even somebody, I mean, he's obviously been a couple of seasons out now in terms of going over to Puntry. You could even bring Karen Chandok back. That would be a better option.
All set.
To be fair,
Maldonado
at this point in his career, even Johnny Herbert would be a better suggestion than Kvyat.
There was some interesting talk about Kvyat, though, linked to Melbourne. The fact he was the Ferrari test driver
Yeah.
in the simulator. And basically, Ferrari couldn't set the cars up as usual because they'd lost both test sim drivers in Giovinazzi and Kvyat. He used to spend like Friday night, Saturday morning doing the setups for the Ferrari qualifying,
Right.
which could have been why they were so far off the pace. It's been suggested to me. And it makes some sense.
It
'cause
does.
They've been there a long while.
Sim drivers are crucial parts nowadays, aren't they, of Formula One teams?
So that was brought to my attention. I can't remember where. Credit to whoever I saw that. But it makes sense. Might have been Channel 4, to be fair.
Yeah.
Hell, if that was the case, why didn't they go to their esports driver? Because they're still
Well,
doing the same thing on the simulator. The simulator is pretty much that.
This is
Just
where
the
esports
parts.
might start coming into its own, really.
Yeah.
It might actually.
It'd be interesting if you could run an esports parallel championship with Formula One.
They
Compare-
almost kind of do at the moment.
Compare and contrast going on with it, but like live during the races, they could do the same racing simulator.
Yeah.
Not quite sure how you plan that, but it's an idea. Definitely be an audience for it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I'm glad this is my outlet. Jesus.
Whereabouts are you?
Still on the road, surprisingly. Just coming down the back straight.
I'm just going to turn 1 now. Turn 2.
Start finish. I hope I don't catch you up.
Based on my last Q performance, yeah, 2 seconds a lap from what it looks like.
It's the first time I've done a proper qualifying session instead of one-shotting it.
Really?
Yeah.
I had to adjust my setup. I didn't have enough downforce. So on the front I was just getting a massive understeer. So just adjusted the front wing. Seems to have done me wonders.
I've been using the setup that Will and myself were using in time trial last time. It seems to be working quite well.
I've just
changed
gone with
it.
whatever it wanted to put me in. It's like, here's a car, off you go.
I forgot to open
There's
the
places now, time trial.
I trust my engineer. He's called Harry.
Not Jeff.
Harry and 3 Jeffs.
Yeah, you've all got Jeff. I thought I'd have Harry.
Wow, well, that was a fast time.
Whoa! I've lost it. No! No, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, shit.
Do not be on the closing corner, please, John.
Oh, I know how to take the closing corner. That's easy enough. Just haven't got enough laps left for another run.
Oh, yeah, Jay, yellow flags don't actually apply in qualifying. You don't have to slow down. It doesn't penalise you.
Oh,
Just
yeah, you
your
went past the area,
information.
didn't you? I was
Yeah.
in low fuel mode. I had no choice but to go slow.
You're out of fuel.
I was out of fuel.
Oh, I'm going for another lap. Can't believe I messed up that exit. Okay, so we've talked about Ferrari, we've talked about Red Bull. Well, yeah, and we've talked about Mercedes. Who was next on the lineup?
Haas?
Haas. It's K-Mag, wasn't it? Let's talk about that Haas. Fast.
Looking pretty tasty, that Haas, this season so far. But then they were the same last season at the beginning, and then got gobbled up by everybody else again.
Talking about deja vu in the race. Bit painful to have a suspension failure. Your wheel came off, mate. Again.
The wheel
again.
disengaged from the rest of the car was the phrase I think they used at one point.
Yes.
It oscillated itself to death.
But a bit embarrassing for Haas, but then a brilliant performance on the other side. So, you know, a solid season start for them.
I've just seen Michael in the chat saying, Will only seconds of that previous session. What's going on?
I've cocked up big time. I'm back in fourth again. I'm not getting this. This car is not... It's a Williams. It's not stable.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
I have to go into the pits.
Yeah, I had to bail out on my second outlap. Not my second outlap, my second
out.
outlap.
Outlap.
Yeah, I had 2 outlaps. That's how bad mine was.
My second lap, I messed up badly. Don't worry, I won't repeat what Ocon said today.
How family friendly are we being, Tracker?
Well, it needs to go on a podcast, so we need to kind of keep it down to a minimum, if I'm honest, to get it to iTunes.
I'll be quiet. You're alright.
You have listened to episodes of Tig Whippy, haven't you, John?
Have you? Well, we should be able to get away with explicit, surely.
Yeah, you can mark it as explicit, it's fine.
Yeah, I was going to try and mark it as explicit. I've submitted it to iTunes. I keep losing that back end on that final corner. It's really nuts.
It's 10-12 where I've lost it, and that's what cost me a better lap there. Because you can see in Sector 1.
Yeah, I'm kind of... I've got a bad setup here. We'll do something about that.
If you can. If you started qualifying.
Blamed his constructor and his setup and his engineer, but he's not blamed himself yet.
I'm blaming me for the setup. I've done a bad setup. It's my setup.
Are you sure it's not Magnussen?
Or Grosjean.
I think Ericsson hit me. So what have we got? Ferrari. Oh yes, I'll put this down on the list of things to talk about. Now, what does everyone think about team orders?
This early in the season, I think, are very silly.
Fastest lap is
Yes,
1 minute,
that's the only thing I
33.8.
could possibly put on that. It's you need. There's no context for team orders yet. So why are you doing it? The only thing I can imagine you really doing is pressing the idea that you have a first and second driver into the mind of the second driver. It doesn't do anything for their mentality at all.
Right.
But as we'll get onto later, that doesn't seem to have been a problem.
That's very true. Yeah, definitely we'll get onto that later. Because I hate team orders. Ferrari were always the ones that were. I remember, what was it? Fernando is quicker than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fernando is quicker than
you.
Can you please confirm you've understood that message?
I understand team orders. I understand them if one of your drivers is going for the world title and the other realistically isn't able to do it. Whether mathematically is a different story or not, because we know that mathematically shouldn't be coming into it properly. It's realistically, can they win the world title? And if they can't, then they should be helping their teammate, like either being a rear gunner or trying to pass someone and then slow them down to try and get the person who is in the chance to get there.
Oh, how have I kept that on the track?
That was Jay just going wide there.
Playing the team game because he knew his opportunity was coming later. To keep Ferrari happy, later on in the season when he's obviously proved he's a fast driver, he might get that in return.
Yeah.
He's still proving where he needs to be. He's proving he's going to be the number one driver. So,
The question with that, though, is if you get halfway down the season and he is in that position, is Vettel going to cooperate?
Same question about Lewis as earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
A couple of comments coming in. Jamira17, that comment made Rob Smedley famous. Was it Rob Smedley that said that comment?
Yep, he was Ruben Barrichello's engineer at the time.
Yeah. And then the other part was Michael Patterson won the whole Schumacher passing Barrichello just before the finishing line. Still annoys me now. Yes, I know what you mean. Was it? It was last corner.
Was it
wasn't
Massa? Sorry.
Yeah, where they swap places.
Yeah.
Was it Austria?
Yeah, because then Schumacher put him on the top step instead, and it was just
They
like
got fined for
jeering.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Michael knew who should have won that race, and that I don't think he liked it or came across as not liking it, but we knew Schumacher how he is. That he had the old Bobby Heenan mentality: win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Don't cheat, just bend the rules, or if you can't bend the rules, cheat and don't get caught.
Yeah. It was Massa's engineer, yeah.
Yeah, Massa.
Because I was thinking, it's like when he was in Williams, Massa baby, Felipe baby.
So yeah, team orders. I don't like them. I've never have liked them. I think they should still be banned right now. But they're always going to find some way of encoding them to get them to do it. And you can see if it works for the team, it works for the team. It is a team sport at the end of the day. But you just want driver versus driver at all times, really. You don't want them to back off and just be playing fiddle.
The difficult bit is, as you say, is if you ban them, people will find ways of working around that. Yeah, I think having it open that they're allowed, but it's you can't have one without the other. That's the problem. You can't ban them to then have people break the rules of trying to use it.
Yeah.
But then if you do have them, you can't say they're here, just don't do it, kind of thing. You can't. There's no in between option.
Are you out of fuel?
I'm out of fuel again. Yeah.
Is that why you're limping home?
Yeah, it was worth it to get that lap in though beforehand.
Yeah, let's have a look at the time. Oh, nice, 131.16. I'm lagging on a 133, but
nice.
I'm lagging on a 133. But like Will, I'm on softs. Qualifying in softs and then switch to the super softs later.
I can't remember which one's the one. They're red. I can't remember which colour's which.
You've ruined the strategy now.
Well, they're not going to notice. They're not going to go faster on the softs. It's Team Williams versus Team Red Bull, by the way. For anyone watching this instead of listening to the podcast, myself and Will's Toy Clearance are Team Williams, and we've got Lard Team Maker and J Dub as Team Red Bull.
The last thing I'd just say on team orders is the sister teams.
Somebody's just
There
rammed me
shouldn't be
off the
stuff.
track.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I was crawling around off the racing line, and somebody just rammed into me.
We all saw that. I've got your camera on my stream. That's
I can't get out of the way of everybody. I've just got Hamilton up though.
Oh God, time penalty coming up for you. So moving on. A good little feature that Will wants to bring in every race is rookie roundup. So Will, I'm going to let you take over this part.
Well, 3 rookies. And they had a solid race for Australia, I'd say. Giovinazzi, clean, damaged car. You know, pride in performance, he did very well. Norris, Tracker, probably your favourite driver out of the McLaren team, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's doing better than Sainz. I know that for a fact. Well, we'll get onto that. But he's certainly got some talent about him.
Solid drive.
Absolutely.
Solid drives.
Do you know what's made it good, though, about him? Was when he apologised for not having the best race. He took responsibility for it. He was like, I'm sorry, it was a bad race. You brought the car home. Yes, it wasn't in the points, but you brought the car home.
In terms
And
of
for a
what you're
first
saying-
race.
In terms of what you're saying about Carl doing better than Carl Sainz, it's a bit unfair to say that after one race when Carl Sainz's car was a failure. I don't think that was necessarily Sainz's fault.
No, it was. I mean, he out-qualified Sainz. That's why I was getting at, if I'm honest. But I think I think him and I think Sainz and Norris have a good partnership. I think they're going to be they're a good team. They're a good team. It looks solid.
Yeah.
It was Leclerc that went into you.
Got 5 seconds. Five positions.
Yeah.
Well, he did or I did.
No, Leclerc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got the penalty.
For driving straight into me. When I was clearly not even on a lap. Trying to limp the car home.
Finally, Albon, who I think had a solid race as well.
All 3 did their outpace the all 3 rookies outpaced the regulars, the established. Albon has done considerably well, Norris has, like I say, I think he's settled in with McLaren, works very well with Sainz, and I think Russell. I think there was a comment you put on earlier on the Discord group where he should be at Racing Point. He should be away from Williams. Williams is he's just wasted talent.
If he's getting a second above Kubica in that wreck of the Williams, that is, that's like Alonso outperforming the McLaren last year. It is that sort of impressive. But it's a learning experience for him. He's still young. Nobody's going to say, we're not going to employ you because you were really bad last year, because everybody knows that Williams is terrible. So it's not bad if he treats it and takes it on board as an experience rather than a year of driving.
Yeah.
In terms of suggesting that he would be better suited to Racing Point, that could be more a case of the amount of money he's bringing in or not bringing in to the team as well, as to why he's gone to Williams.
So I guess
we don't know the ins and outs of that.
I guess we'll see how it plans out. He's there for 2 years at least, I think, in his contract.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Who knows? That's the exciting thing about it, I think.
It's 3 good novice drivers on the racetrack. Formula One. I don't think Formula One's had such a strong future, really.
We're getting very much into a new generation of drivers overall, aren't we?
Yeah.
It feels like when Hamilton and Vettel were starting to come into the sport, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Exciting talent in cars that, not yet competitive, but definitely have the potential. Which is nice. I like it.
Yeah, it definitely shows their skill level for when they go in. Almost like when Schumacher started at Jordan, and then it was almost immediately snapped up by Bennett.
Well, I suppose you could put Leclerc in that sort of time frame as well with these 3 rookies, to be fair. this
Oh,
sort of
absolutely.
small period, and we'll, it's exciting stuff. It really is. It really
It'd be
is.
interesting actually to look at the average age of the grid. And see.
Ooh, that is a good thing.
I can't do that kind of maths off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Well, we know we've got some of the oldest drivers at the moment, Kimi, and then we've got
True.
some of the youngest drivers at the same time. So it would be a interesting thing to look at, I think. If somebody's got the stats in the chat and wants to work that out.
Yes, please. If anyone's on the chat likes to drop that message, drop us a line.
Answers on a postcard.
That's on the postcard. Indeed. So what about Danny Rick? Let's talk about it. He hasn't had the smoothest entrance into Renault, really, has he? Into the
Who?
Did we expect
Danny Rick.
anything else, really? Moving teams at his home race. First race of the season. It was not exactly set up to be a fairy tale, was it?
No.
It felt to me personally that it wasn't gonna be like the dream he thought it might be with him moving to Renault. At least not his first year.
Do we think he should have done the track walk? I suppose is the main question, because that's what you could argue bugged up his race. Apparently, he's not done it since 2017,
What,
2016.
what?
Actually, done a track walk.
Any track or just Melbourne?
Any track walk. He said that on. I think it was the paddock pass for Bahrain that came out from Formula 1 on YouTube. Will Axton asked him, and he goes, "No." I think he drove around Baku when that first came out as a, to look around. But other than that, yeah, he doesn't really bother.
I wonder if he does it in other ways. I wonder if he uses this game, for example, as a guide.
We have 2 laps of
Yeah, but they've always said there's only so much you can learn from a video game in terms of you're not learning.
Yeah, you're not learning where all the bumps are. You're not learning the camber as it is.
Camber and everything. Grosjean's just completely binned his lap right in front of me.
That's all right. I've been my lap too. Oh, I'm getting frustrated with this.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting from Ricardo. He actually admitted to doing that.
It's weird why he doesn't do it. I mean, normally you would go just in case they've actually, resurfaced it in a certain area.
I was
Even
watching.
if they haven't resurfaced it, that's going to affect it.
Was it drivers' briefings they did in on YouTube last year or the year before, when they
was.
sort of sit in the room with Charlie and talk about the tracks and stuff?
Yeah.
And I think it's Monaco, and they were talking about a curb, and there was proper discussion if the curb was different or not. But Max commented it was higher, and Perez said it was higher. You wouldn't get that unless you did a track walk. So it's got to be worth something to a driver to go and do that. Surely. You're stupid not to, really. How long does it take you to walk around the track and go, yep, that's fine?
Yeah.
When Formula 1's down to milliseconds, that's like the least effort to make sure you're doing a good job.
Because if he actually did do that, he probably would have seen the side road and the bump that caused him to lose his front wing.
He might have still hit it. You never know. But at least he'd been more aware of it.
Wasn't there a storm drain next to the side road that caused him to lose the front wing as well?
Yeah, it's clipped something that was in the grass.
They don't really know, do they, if it was the grass, the drop from the grass going up to the other bit of grass, or the drain. Which you've got to look at the track. Sorry, that's the clock going off.
Is it 8:45 by any chance?
7.9.
Yes, it is.
Horrifying sound.
That's up to the people that look after the track, isn't it? Because it was last year when Grosjean hit that storm drain and completely binned his car. And they were like, it's up to the track, actually. It's not up to the FIA, because it's whoever owns the track's fault. Which was an interesting argument to have.
Excuse me.
Where
Sorry.
the responsibility of the track actually lays, because you'd think it'd be on the FIA.
Yeah.
you hiring something, surely you're insured against the damage if it were the person who's supplying it. Who knows?
It's a mystery yet to be solved, isn't it? So, whilst we've been between Melbourne and Bahrain, there has been a meeting of the F1 high chiefs and stuff like that about the 2021 rules. Do we know much about what's going on, other than teams are actually sounding quite good? I know there was a threat from Zach Brown saying that McLaren could leave F1 if it doesn't get a fairer deal. So fair distribution, fair, budget caps, stuff like that. What do we know about this? What do we know about the actual, not the McLaren quitting, but the deal that's coming up to replace the new Concord agreement?
For myself personally, next nothing.
There was a thing on the Sky coverage today where they talked to Ross Brawn about the deal or the future, and he was like, it's all in the bag, and then Christian Horner comes out of the meeting and goes, we know nothing, it's not going to happen this year. If that's just Christian Horner playing, because he does have the tendency to, or if they generally just, the FIA is going, you're going to do what we say and that's the end of it. I don't know. But Ferrari is still getting a nice chunk of extra money just because they're the oldest. Which I have problems with.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Especially when people like Red Bull do so much outside of just the sport, promoting it.
Good evening, Wild Rose. How are you doing?
But there you go.
I have to be perfectly honest, I barely know the full set of rules for this season, let alone the 2021 season. So I don't really have much input on this one.
Okie dokes.
I'm too busy spinning my lap out.
I've just realised that I had my fuel mix on lean rather than max. So I was driving back to the pit and I forgot to switch it over. Whoops. That's a good start to the lap, isn't it?
I see Will's done a blistering 129.
Oh, yeah. Shut the front door.
I was quite happy with where I was, and then Lad leapfrogged me.
Well, I'm in 10th at the minute because I spun. Oh, someone spun. Sorry, well, I'm a useless teammate to you at the minute.
That's fine, Lad's my teammate.
I've got this.
You can hold them up.
I'm being useless for Lard instead. It's fine.
Now we remember what happened in your favourite track, Azerbaijan.
Yes, Azerbaijan is. I didn't have a favourite track on the
P4
out of all the circuits until yesterday.
That's interesting, Lard. Qualifying on the soft tyre.
Oh.
Is he revealing everybody's
Q3?
strategies?
In Q3?
Yeah, in Q3.
Yeah.
Have you run out of tyres, dude?
No, no. I just changed it for that one, see how it go.
Fair
and
enough,
apart from sector 3, I think I did quite well.
Interesting.
I've got one set of super softs
Sector
left.
2 as well, a bit iffy.
So even if I qualify 4th, I'm still going to have one set of new tyres there.
I think I only did
It's going to be very close to Lard, I think.
Because don't forget, it's qualifying 2 that you use the tyres to start on.
I improved, but I couldn't catch Lard.
The line's gone. Hit and hope.
I've got to limp this car back because it's all gone.
Oh, well, P4. Got a 131.6. What we got going
What
on?
happens if I don't get my car back to the garage? To just start at the back.
I don't know. Oh, I'm watching him. We're watching. Everyone's watching him.
Yeah, just come over. I've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds to get back. Essentially, I think.
Lift and coast, Jay. Lift and coast.
Yeah,
Nah, it's
where
lit.
am I? Is that the back straight?
No, it's before the really odd hairpin.
Oh, Christ, you're only halfway
Yeah,
around
this
the
is
circuit.
9, 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah,
It is, isn't it?
let's get off the.
There's a bloke on the cherry picker.
Wow.
Just gone past me. I can put DRS on with low fuel mode.
Wow. Look at the speed there. Absolutely
I am
flying.
doing 57 miles an hour with DRS wide open.
Yeah.
Realistic Williams for you people.
Well, when
I'm in a Red Bull car.
when Jay gets back to the pits in 1 minute and 17 seconds, we're actually going to go for a break. It's the two Willies on the front row according to Mike Patterson. Is it? No, it's not. It's
Here it is.
It is.
Oh yes, it is.
It is. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, this isn't a pants.
I've returned into Formula 1 pants, my ninja.
Isn't that normally the race for Formula 1?
I'm genuinely worried that I'm not going to get this car back in time.
Well, we're going to see what happens. You got
Yeah.
45 seconds. You'll get it there.
You'll get it there.
It's going to be close. 39
Yeah.
seconds. It's going to be very close. Oh,
All the
You've
tension.
already set, like, nah.
30
You've already
seconds.
set time.
Yeah, I've set my time, but if I don't get my car back, they're going to penalise me
I
for
don't
it.
think they are.
No, they won't do. No, it's just going to be the end of the session, that's all.
I'm going to get there. 20 seconds. I can see the
19
pits.
seconds.
I'll open my DRS as I enter the pit lane. There you go.
Ooh,
DRS is open. There we go.
Look at that flap action.
Oh
There you go, I'm
god.
in the pit. It's all good.
Flaps. Oh god. Right. On that note, when we get to the timing screen, we are
Actually boxed dead on 0.
we are going to. Oh, yeah, you qualified third.
Yeah.
We're going to go for a break. So 5 minutes, 5 minute break, and then we're going to come back and we are going to do the race and talk about what's happened so far in free practice 1, 2, 3, and qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We'll see you in 5 minutes in a bit. Bye. Welcome back. We're back. You're tuning into the Turn 1 podcast with me, Tracker 57, with Will's Toy Clements.
Hello.
Hello, there we go. With Lard Teammaker
Good evening.
and with JDub.exe.
Hello.
And we are now about to play the next part of the game, which is the actual Grand Prix itself. So I'm just going to go to Let's Game and click Advance. And we are going to talk about the Bahrain Grand Prix, free practice 1, 2, 3, and qualifying. As always, if anyone's in the chat wants to put some comments down about this, what you've seen today and over the last couple of days, drop us a line, we'll get through it. So, let's start with free practice. Was it free practice 1 or free practice 2? Hulkenberg and Giovinazzi. I think you brought this up, Will. So, I'll let you kick off.
I think it we practiced 1. Basically, they just didn't see each other and crashed. It was sort of like a side swipe. It was very strange, the contact. And, you know, for free practice 1, it's not the best. It's and Hulkenberg's not had a great weekend, has he, in all fairness?
No.
So, Hulkenberg's just off it this weekend. Giovinazzi just being a rookie, not seeing it. It's 9 o'clock. I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, DuckTack, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome along to the Turn 1 podcast. Welcome along. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it, really? You're waiting for me, aren't you? Oh, no.
Quick question before this race starts. Is there a formation map?
No.
Thank you. Why did you not lie to me? You fools.
Watch out, we're green.
Did you remember your clutch this time?
I
Jack?
remember my clutch this time round. I haven't got a 10.
Oh,
I've
I've been
got a
rammed into on the way up the open straight. Beautiful.
Oh, got a bit of wheel on wheel there with Vettel.
What?
Stop it.
Oh, Lord!
Didn't see you there, dude.
Somebody drove straight into the back of me. I am at the back of the pack.
I've
So
got
am I now.
Hmm.
Right.
I managed to keep hold of it though, because I did go off because of that.
I went so wide to give you the room, and you still pushed me.
Come on, calm me down, calm me down. This is the part of the race that we all concentrate on, just the first couple of laps.
I have to remember the collisions are on because I've previously only played this without collisions on, so that's why.
Oh, you've had ghosting, have you?
Yeah, this is the other reason I didn't expect anybody to hit me. Why I was so shocked.
We put ghosting on to basically ease Jay into it, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I really do hate that kind of that long sweeping right before the.
Yeah, 10-12 is an absolute git.
Bottas just rammed me, and I've had a warning for colliding with him. Really.
Yeah, Van Dorn just done the same to me.
Ah, stop all.
Waffle Van Dorn.
The Belgian detective. No, wait, that was Mr. Souffle.
So let's talk about Bahrain. What's let's go to free practice to start with. What's it kind of been the standout points for you for free practice? Let's start with you, Lard, this time round. What's been the standout points for free practice?
Well, I mean, from free practice, from what I saw, it looks like Ferrari have found their form that they had in testing.
They really have, haven't
Which
they?
is, yeah, they were saying they were about a second ahead of Mercedes before qualifying, which is a big amount considering Melbourne. So, I mean, then you've got your normal form for everybody else, which is nice. You know, again, McLaren were not a one-trick pony.
No. And for a McLaren fan like myself, that is brilliant news.
So to me, you know, it was, apart from Ferrari just blitzing the field, again, it was all as normal, as standard. What
about you brought up an interesting point, Will, about Ferrari. You heard it on the qualifying show today. If you want to share that.
Rosberg claimed one of the team bosses had smelled a strange smell from Ferrari, almost like oil burning again, which they were told. Don't know who said it, but Rosberg, why would he lie to us?
Race officials have
So,
I don't
know.
know. Rosberg being lying, but possibly somebody stirring the pot through Rosberg, perhaps?
Perhaps. It could be Mercedes.
There's no other reports of it happening.
Is Rosberg still linked with Mercedes?
Yeah.
Or is he's still linked with Mercedes?
Quite heavily, I think.
It'll be like Webber with Red Bull, Coulthard with Red Bull, because Coulthard, I suspect, is still in a massive...
Alonso with McLaren.
Yeah.
He's in the pits with them this weekend.
Yeah,
It's quite hard to... Go on.
No, go on. You go first.
Oh, it was just the fact that because it's a night race, you can't actually see the oil burning so badly out to the back of the Ferraris if it was happening. As for all the cars, to be fair, because it's hard breathing on the engines in Bahrain as well.
Is it nowhere near as bad as it was last year when Ferrari started the engine and then it just looked like someone had set fire to the garage?
You've got to say that was a bit suspicious. It was dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Wasn't it one of the Haas cars that was going by the garage and says they couldn't see in the pit lane because it was so smoky?
I think it was, yeah.
Carry on, Tracker, sorry.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about Alonso coming back. He's in the McLaren pits. He's testing for McLaren, even though it's just a tyre taste. I think he's doing. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Alonso being in the pits? Is it a boost for Sainz and Norris, or do you think it's kind of more of a hindrance for them? Because Alonso's probably eyeing up the race drive again. What do you think?
It certainly can't be a bad thing having somebody with that level of experience in the garage for somebody like Lando Norris.
Yeah.
Sainz perhaps more of a hindrance if you want to look at it from that point of view, but for Lando Norris certainly it cannot be a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's got a mentor.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a 2-time world champion there. Why would you not want to be in his ear?
Yeah.
That's true.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. Because that's one hell of a learning tree to sit under.
Oh, is it what Williams need? Because they've lost Felipe. Just that voice of experience in a modern car. Is that the difference?
Could well be. Could well be the experienced head on the shoulders though.
Because look who Williams have brought in.
Remind me.
Patrick Head.
Patrick Head. So Patrick Head is back in now. I only heard about that. Was that announced today? That or?
Yeah, it was today.
When it was today, is he coming back? He's not permanent. Is he? He's kind of like is it an advisory role he's doing, or?
Some technical terms say he's not involved, but he's involved. You know what F1's like. Yeah.
He's going to be heavily
He's joining the
involved, really.
team. Yes.
What's Patrick Head? You know, he's been around Williams for
donkey years.
Yeah. From the FW, was it the FW14B? The one of the was that
not the FW14F?
Huh? I know you're messing with my head.
He's been around longer than the moustache that's currently sitting on
the moustache.
Speaking of Vettel's moustache, do you not think he looks like he's come to fix the fridge?
Hello everybody in the chat. I will have a look when I'm on the straight who's popped into the chat. Just got to get past this corner and hold my line and not mess it up.
I've just taken Gasly around the outside of the hairpin.
Nice.
That was satisfying.
Oh.
I looked at that in DRS.
I'm trying to chase Lard down, but I think he's got a good gap going.
He keeps putting fastest laps down.
Will is now up to third.
I'm stuck down in 14.
So Will, did you pass Jay then? Were you up?
He didn't quite get past me in the first part.
No, because then I got grabbed by Bottas afterwards.
I'm looking for a podium here, guys. I'm looking for a podium.
I'm looking for a points finish, guys. A points finish.
Win or nothing for me.
Got a long way to catch up for Mr. Lard himself. It's quite a bit in front.
We're on the optimum strategy.
I've blinked first as well. I've gone on pits.
That's true. Oh, we got the pit lanes open. Hello, last Lisa. Hello, the crazy Rup guy. I think that's what it is. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I'm trying to read chat and drive at the same time. Never tweet and chat.
Text and drive.
That's it. Otherwise, he end up going off. I've just had a shock of a lap. Pit window, 8 to 12, so I've got a couple of laps left to go.
No, just in the pits.
Yeah.
Good job I told you I'd gone in the pits, then, isn't it? Really? I forgot you were my team, mate. Oh, my tyres are not ready for that hairpin yet.
It's going to be Fernando is faster than you in a second, isn't it, Will?
I have saved some others.
So, when we
Be
talk...
careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
apparently, I'm going to start losing some tyre grip about now.
Shut up, Jeff.
I know, Jeff is annoying at times. So, Sebastian Vettel's moustache aside, there was a bit of a chat that we had where we were saying that he's gone to have a shave in between Q2 and Q3 because he was just losing too much time. Save the weight, you know. His engineers just told him about
he
it.
actually got out of the car, and people saying he went for a comfort break. It's like, how much comfort do you need?
I thought he was actually going to shave his mustache off, you know.
My favourite
Brilliant
bit.
if he'd gone to the interview with Paul de Resta afterwards, and he had shaved it off. I think that would have been brilliant.
Yeah. My favourite bit when he got back in the car and Leclerc set the equal fastest lap around that track. His face when that time flashed up was hilarious. He looked so teed off. It was unreal. He's like, he's really good. It shows what it means to Vettel though. He's really seeing Leclerc as competition.
As he should, to be honest.
There he is.
As all the drivers on the grid should. James thinking in terms of Charles Leclerc, it's pretty much champion in waiting. It's just a case of when, not if.
Well, I'm going in the pits this lap, buddy.
Okay.
Just to give you a heads up, because I know you're right behind me.
You can give me the DRS down that back straight. I'd be most pleased.
Okay, dokes.
Saying that though, what would be the biggest measuring stick for Leclerc is, yes, he's got pole, but can he turn it into a win for the rest of the race weekend is the big question.
That is very true, actually.
All well and good getting pole, but if you can't turn it into points,
Oh dear, that was
it's
a
not
bad
about
corner.
it's not about where you start the race, it's about where you finish it.
He said that himself though, didn't he? After
Yeah.
in the interview with Paul de Resta. So he's got his head screwed on. I don't think that was ever in question, but
Yeah, I'm just comparing that to, was it Bottas' first pole for Mercedes? He didn't win his race, and then for the rest of the season his head kind of went a bit down with it.
Yeah.
then again, it depends why you lost it. To be fair, if it was an accident or something, you probably blame yourself. If it was bad driving, then yeah.
I can't recall where he got his first pole actually. Was it at Bahrain?
Remember, box
It was
this lap.
Bahrain.
Keep an eye on
I
your
think.
distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make
I
sure
think you're
don't
right behind
speed.
me, Will, aren't you?
Yep. You
As you-
you stay there, because I'll get the DRS down the start finish.
Okay. Right, I'm peeling off to the pits.
Cool. Nice slipstream.
Nice. Nice bit of work there. Here we go. Hello, Yasser. Hello, Michael Patterson. Oh, I've already said hello to him. Sorry.
So disappointed about it.
Hello, Jeff.
You're
Totally,
going,
I've
totally
already said
damaged.
hello to you.
The crazy syrup guy. Hello, crazy syrup guy.
I'll take it back.
Sorry.
I retract my greeting.
Right, we have 2 stops left in this strategy. We have 2 stops.
Yes, get out of my way, Hamilton.
Oh, I'm on the
Pick
super softs. I'm loving this. I've got. I'm still P3, so I'm liking that.
How long ago did you come out the pits?
About 20 seconds ago.
No, I'm wrong. I'm just wondering how backed up the rest of the pack were, because I'm down in 16. We can't be that much of a gap yet.
There's 5 seconds behind me and
I've
fourth
just
place.
seen them on the map. Yeah. I've just seen it.
No! I've walled it. And he's still got it because he turned off real damage.
Suspicious.
Don't worry, I'm expecting tracker cheats to appear in the comments.
I mean, if you turned it off for you, does that mean you turned it off for all?
Everyone's got it off.
Well then, you're not cheating, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's why you haven't had any front wing damage on collisions.
Rare sighting of J-Dub defending Tracker's decisions.
Thank you, I'll take that.
It's been recorded, it's live, it's roof. Don't get used to it.
Right, let's go and hunt down
The
Lard.
car ahead is 23.8 seconds.
I've caught
Will's
up
just
with
come out in
what
front of
appears to
me.
be a bit of a pack.
We're running an excess of fuel. We can turn up the engine to mix.
My tyres were gone, otherwise I'd have stayed out a bit longer.
Rich.
I just realised I've got about 2 laps over the top of what I've got. We haven't talked much about Bahrain, by the way, have we?
Tells Mustang.
Yeah, Vettel's moustache. Good moustache. What about, let's talk about, I'm going to say it, Williams, 3.8 seconds off of the pace of Q1? That's ridiculous, surely.
See,
There you go.
3.8 seconds off the pace of Q3 would have been bad.
Yeah.
3.8 seconds off the back of Q1 is insane.
What is the 107% rule on the pole position?
It's 100% of the difference from the time that's set on pole.
How
Yeah.
strictly is that enforced? Because to be fair, in the
Not really.
last race, they were dangerous, holding people up and causing
Gap
accidents.
behind is
Kubica was already a lap down in
seconds.
after 5 laps.
Kubica did have to go in and get a new front wing, to be fair.
Yeah, but I mean, Hofffield overtook him by then. But, you know, it's dangerous. We were talking about the other day about blue flags at Monaco. It's the same thing. If you've got cars that are 3 laps down, you know, how slow is that?
Well, it's worse than McLaren with their GP2 engine. At least they had an excuse.
The thing is it a case of 107% is advisable under the guidelines, and then it's up to other teams to basically bring it up and say, we need to do something about this?
Our gap to the car
Yeah,
ahead
don't
is
know.
Bottas.
8.0 seconds.
Sorry.
But you've got to say, if they get any slower, they're going to have to consider doing something. It's like having a safety car going round on its own.
Yeah.
It's so slow.
Or me with low fuel mode in qualifying. Although how the
Simple.
hell Charles Leclerc got the penalty for that, I'm not entirely sure.
But yeah, I think Williams. I think George Russell is getting the most. I really do.
He's
George Russell
definitely.
is doing a fantastic job in terms of spinning it in interviews, though.
Yeah,
Because he's saying that he's there to help the team and that they're on a like kind of a learning journey together kind of thing, and he's doing all he can to support them and all this kind of stuff. And in reality, he should be turning around and just going, "Yeah, this car's rubbish. We can't do anything about it."
Yeah.
So to be saying something as mature as that as a rookie is either he's taking really good lessons from somebody, or he's got a really mature head on his shoulders.
Has he been watching Lewis Hamilton do press conferences? I like to thank the team. I like to thank, you know.
It wasn't
sometimes that's the
even
only thing
being
you can say.
it wasn't even being grandiose about his team or anything like that. It was more of a, yes, we've got problems, but we're working our way through it together sort of thing.
He is very. I like George Russell. I think he's just ended up with a crock of a car.
Tend to agree.
Yeah, that car's horrible at the moment.
Well, they've got
I think
slower, haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't know whether they got slower. Sugar.
I like.
Hello.
I like.
that.
I like Oh Sugar. That's always a good thing.
I know which corner he's on as well.
I'm by any chance approaching it as well.
10, 12.
Yep.
10, 12 and 13, yep.
Yep.
Everyone's favourite. I don't even go full throttle around there. I just hold off.
Gap ahead is 12.6 seconds.
12 seconds ahead. Jeez Louise.
Who is?
Will.
He's just got the fastest lap in the world.
Fastest lap. Absolutely.
On the subject of what you were saying with Hamilton and his
PR. Good PR.
his PR side of things, his
In this lap.
interview
In this lap.
after qualifying
Mm.
was quite surprising, to be honest. Normally, you think of Hamilton, when he's not on top, he's the first person to be spitting out his dummy and complaining and things like that. And he's qualified third because the Ferraris have just got Bahrain sewn up in terms of qualifying somehow.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He was all smiles and he was very kind of pleased for Leclerc. And I can't tell if that's a case of Hamilton learning to deal with that sort of thing better, or he just finds it incredibly amusing that Vettel's been beaten.
Well, with the rumours that he could be going to Ferrari before the end of his career, it's not all bad news, is it?
It's true.
Plus the fact they were like a second off the pace in every other session, so to be only 2 tenths behind, you got to be pretty pleased.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
if
that's a massive improvement.
They did find something in party mode, didn't they? So I didn't think they'd
And they
find
said-
much, if I'm honest.
Okay, remember to pit this.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? I thought Mercedes might pull something out for Q3 in the chat.
Yeah.
And I think they did, really. I think they did.
I think one of the standouts for today has been K-Mag again.
Ferrari engine, though, isn't it? Something about that engine and this track. And, you know, it's still a good drive, don't get me wrong, but the Ferrari engine just seems particularly strong.
Wow, I don't know. I can't remember which number corner that is, but I've just. Lard knows which corner I mean. The left and to the right. I have just. It was like I had aquaplaned through the sweeping right side of that.
Stop left in this
I just.
strategy.
It was like driving a rally car. It was ridiculous. I'm amazed it stayed on the track.
I can see the Lard in the distance.
I've come up to
I got-
fifth during all that somehow, though.
I got a pretty lonely race at the minute. My God, I haven't heard that tune for a while. So, we've talked about Gasly
+1.
because,
Fast are available.
let's face it, his qualifying today was absolutely shocking.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
was
go on.
terrible.
It was terrible. But Verstappen, where did Verstappen qualify today? Was it P5?
Well, you'd hope so, I think.
Don't remember. That's the thing.
I
I
thought it was.
Verstappen's qualifying was very. He had a very quiet day, as it were. He's barely even. Unless I've just kind of switched off at any point, but I don't remember Verstappen's name even being really mentioned during qualifying today.
But he didn't go out till the very end of Q3 either, did they? Like Vettel. It was like they'd got no tyres left again.
They used too many sets, didn't they, in previous ones? Oh, it was 5th. Gamages coming on the chat saying 5th.
It was fifth.
But it wasn't a very special performance, because last race you could argue they were fighting Mercedes, who were behind, and then they're just nowhere again.
Well, the part that I was miffed about, and I mentioned this in the Discord group, was when Crofty was talking to Christian Horner on the pit wall, and they went about. They said about is this where you expected the Red Bull to be? And they went, oh no, if you add up all the segments together, we should be a lot further than they are. Well, that's
Their theoretical best isn't actual best, is it?
no, exactly. And I put it as no pun intended, but that's Christian Horner talking bull. You know, they need to. They're gonna. It sounds like they're starting to hide behind shadows again. I know that Honda engine's a lot better, but it sounds like they're starting to prepare to hide behind excuses again.
Yeah.
Unlike,
But there's nothing to be
It's a
excused.
lot earlier in the season if they are, though.
Yeah, because Verstappen's performance, there's nothing wrong with 5th. That's no worse than they were doing last season. It's Gasly that's the problem. Oh, he just couldn't find the pace. So he's crap then, is what you're saying.
yeah, absolutely.
He didn't say there was a car fault, he didn't say there was an engine fault, he didn't say this, didn't say anybody held him up. He actually said We don't know he couldn't find the traction, so he can't drive, is what you've just said.
We're approaching the
You
pit
can't find
window.
any traction, or the
You'll be on
tyres are
the
rubbish
softs.
because he's worked the tyres too hard.
Well, either way, it's the driver, isn't it?
Wasn't it you who
On the new
said?
tyres. Go on.
Wasn't it you who said last week about? Sorry, not last week. A fortnight ago, when you said about Ricardo making a mistake of moving because then he's got no one. Verstappen's got no one to be pushed by.
It's a definite argument.
Well, so
Because
Ricardo not being
Gasly's-
Red Bull means Verstappen has no competition.
Well, where's
Is that
Gasly
what you're
right
saying?
now? He's got no teammates. But in order to beat your competition, the first person you've got to beat is your teammate. And if you haven't got your teammate pushing you to get good results, he might just come off the ball a little bit.
But on that argument as well, that's not Ricciardo's problem.
Yeah.
So he's left Red Bull high and dry. It's almost tactical in that sense, isn't it?
That's true.
Well, yeah, because Ricciardo wants...
Ricky,
yeah.
Danny Ricky.
Ricky!
Danny Ricky. But, at the end of the day, he wants to be world champion. But if you're in Formula 1, you don't want to be world champion, and why are you there?
Yeah, it's true.
So he
yeah,
has to look for me, myself, and I,
you don't
which is
wanna
why he went.
He's done a Hamilton, though, isn't he? When he moved to Mercedes, he's taking the gamble that Renault, from what he saw, are going to offer him a car that could win championships.
Yeah.
And we still don't really know, do we? Because Renault hasn't had a clean weekend.
Fuel to mix to.
Since his car blown up in Australia wasn't ideal for the engine reliability side, but still not saying that engine's bad. So weren't they top of the speed traps again for most of this weekend?
They were, weren't they?
So it's not all doom and gloom for Ricardo. And he's happier. I think that's obvious.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Ricardo was. Where was he? Wasn't.
21.1
Sorry, I'm just letting Jeff talk over me. He was kind of nowhere to be seen for a while during free practice and everything like that, and then he pulled it out the bag for qualifying. Ricardo. I mean, look at where Hulkenberg finished. What was it? It was his 17th. It was.
Yeah,
He qualified
Q1.
today. He was out in Q1.
Yeah, he was out in Q1, yeah.
That
Which
was a hell of
you
a
always
shock.
get one out every Q1, but it was unexpected it was Hulkenberg.
Yeah. Well, I honestly thought it was Danny Rick because he just hasn't had the performance this week.
Lard, are you planning on boxing at any point?
Yeah, the slap.
P17. Thank
You're
you.
going in- I'll come in afterwards.
I've got Henry, who's a stats man, on here. Right.
He's a stats man.
He's a stats man. Let's have a quick look. Gasly's number 2. John has come up saying that the car seem more reliable. That's the Honda engine being more reliable. Certainly are.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I still
you know,
rattle off.
the performance.
Oh,
though,
they
it's-
sound
they sound
horrible.
bad, but if as long as it works,
Blah, 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 blah. That's my best impression. I'm not doing it again.
But you can hear it even
listen to my engineer.
in this game, the engines sound differently, which is nice. If you've not listened to it through earphones, the Mercedes is very raspy, but the Honda sounds like, you know,
A raspberry.
he's shaking
A raspberry.
a tool shed or something.
If you listen really carefully to the complete and utter silence, you can hear the wind. Then
What, way in the distance? 'Cause it's not even got there yet.
yeah,
Right,
It's not
tyre
good.
situation. We're good for the time being, but you are going to start to notice the wear.
But yeah, I
so
wouldn't
make sure
say
it's
anything about that
catching
Honda
up.
engine yet.
the weird problem we have is we're only one race weekend down, halfway through the second one.
Yeah.
It's difficult to call anything for sure. Yeah,
Box this lap, please.
Let's talk about something that has been, well, for me personally, pretty good. McLaren Q3, both cars.
it's
They've-
very nice to see them back up there.
It really is, isn't it? They're a team that needed to be back up there, and it feels like they've got they've got something good with that car. They've got a good foundation to work on now.
The team's good. The team is good. Norris with like open eyes, fresh, brand new, eager and excited, and Carlos Sainz that's reasonably experienced.
Yeah.
He's not quite the veteran that Alonso was, but he still knows how a car should work.
Yeah. I mean, Norris, he was bringing in. I was shocked when I was seeing like P4. It was like, what? Is this McLaren? I'm not expecting it. I suppose with so many years of seeing him down in the like teens and stuff like that, seeing P4 come up, it was like, am I really seeing this?
But any number less than 10.
Yeah.
Single figures is. I mean, single figures is what they were dreaming of. It's just like that high up is even crazier.
Yeah.
Because they both said it wasn't a clean lap either. Norris definitely said it when there was like an interview after the qualifying. He was like, if I'd had a slightly cleaner lap, I'd have been with Carlos. So it'd been, I'm guessing 7th and 8th rather than 7th and 10th, was it? Or 9th?
Yeah, 7th and 10th.
Or was Raikkonen 10th?
No,
I
Raikkonen pipped 9th, I think.
I know it was close.
I mean, Raikkonen is seriously flatter in that Alfa Romeo as well.
Yes.
But that is just pure experience on his part, isn't it?
But Giovinazzi's not doing a bad job for being a rookie.
No, this is true, but Raikkonen's really making it look good.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that the midfield is becoming more bunched up again. Rather than it just being, say, 2 teams and then everybody else. You genuinely feel like by the end of the season, at least one of the midfield teams will have got a podium. Or is that me asking too much?
No, I think you've got a point. I think it's easy enough to steal. I mean, look at races like Azerbaijan. Anything could happen. I think it's going to be those kind of races. I think that they'll get a podium. I think you're absolutely correct.
50.9 seconds.
I think something's going to have to happen though. I can't see the top 3 teams. Well,
yeah, it's
2
going to take
teams
at least a safety
Verstappen.
car as well. And one of the big hitters to be affected by that. In which case, money where your mouth is, which of the midfield teams is going to get the podium first?
I'm going to go McLaren. I'm sticking with my boys. I'm sticking with McLaren.
Will is going to hate me for this because I'm going to stick my neck out on Haas. It's really going to wind him up because I'm going to say it's going to be Grosjean that does it.
Oh,
I
Grosjean.
think Cass as well.
I think Force India.
You think Racing
The
Point?
last-
Racing Point.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know who I meant. But look at the last 2 surprise podiums. They were both Sergio Perez. He's one wily little driver. He knows when there's an opportunity for some silverware.
That is true, but I don't feel like Racing Point are currently best of the rest.
No, I don't think they are.
They're bringing upgrades every single race. It's hard to say, honestly. They're the most fluid team this year.
We'll come back to that question in like 6 or 7 races, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good observation to make though, because they are generally bringing upgrades every race.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Got a comment on the chat. I'll have a look at the comment in just a second. Someone agreeing with J-Dub.
Interesting.
I'll have a look in that in a sec.
It does happen occasionally. It does happen.
Just that part of the podcast when we've got like a few laps to go and it's full concentration.
Everybody's in and out of the pits and everything as well. You pitted yet, John?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Damn
done
it.
4 pit stops.
4?
1, 2, 3 pit stops. Sorry, 3. I did a 3-stop strategy.
Yeah, you got extra tyres.
I think you came in right behind me.
I must have done.
I agree with Jada. Raikkonen's experience is really getting the most out of the Alfa Romeo. That is from Michael Patterson.
I'm excited for Bahrain though. The race has really teed up very nicely with qualifying.
Yeah,
Yes.
agreed.
There are stories everywhere. Will Williams finish? people out of position, reliability possibly for Ferrari still in question because they qualified okay in Australia. It was the race where the problem actually was.
Yeah.
It was visible. Okay, they didn't actually get P1, but in Melbourne, but they were still fast or looked fast. It was the race where it went nope. So there's a lot to look out for.
Yeah.
And then Charles Leclerc putting Le Chat amongst opinion. Said Le Chat, it's French.
I know.
I'm just making sure that people didn't mishear me.
I didn't do French, but I know what a Le Chat is.
Le Chat Noir.
And I know that Will's suddenly up my arse.
Oh, here it comes. It's about this time.
I don't have to worry about the what I've just said anymore. It's fine.
That's all right. Last time round it was take me at turn 3. This time round it's Will being up Lard's arse.
Not take me at turn 1.
No.
I preferred flap action. Lovely bit of flap action. I might be in range for some more flap action now.
That famous Human League song, I Want Your Flap Action.
Yeah.
You can tell everyone at
And he's got under the pressure. Oh, glorious days for Williams. Dear me, Lord.
I take those two 9 and like 10 and 11 far too deep. Just locked up, wouldn't turn.
Ooh.
Well, I've got trouble behind me because I've got Jay catching me at a rate of a second a lap at the minute.
I am coming at you like a bullet from a gun.
Like Danny Kvyat from behind.
Any metaphor. I was concentrating too hard.
22 and a half laps. I was ahead of you, Will.
After you took me out and took me to the back. That's so.
I
Palmer.
You took him out and rammed him, yeah?
I qualified 4th, got taken out on the grid, was at the back, then got taken out by Bottas halfway around the second lap. I am very happy if I finish in 4th.
And your first official. Come on, Jay. You're the rookie here.
Yeah.
That's true, actually.
We'll interview you later, Jay, for your rookie reaction.
Oh, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
I'd like to thank the Academy and my mum and my wife and my girlfriend.
It's weird, I just passed Ocon. I forgot he was even in this season. Who even is Ocon, you know? So much talk has gone away from him now, already.
I know, there was a lot of camera work on him at Australia. I don't remember even being mentioned at Bahrain so far.
Nope.
Has he even been in the Mercedes garage?
I don't know. Let's not look.
Yeah, any time shots.
Just out of curiosity, whereabouts are the... Sorry. Sorry, Lard. You go first.
Sorry, you were going to say, John.
No, you go first. You go first. I insist.
He basically, on his on the F1 show earlier, he was there. Ocon was there, being viewed, and yeah, he was a bit naughty.
Oh yes, we haven't mentioned this yet.
Go on, talk it through. We'll get an for explicit.
Being in an interview, they did a thing that they used to do on the Question of Sport of what happens next. And he was being shown a race in the past at Bahrain where he was swamped by Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. And they asked him what happened, and he simply said, I was fucked.
We'll bleep that out in the edit.
There's an edit.
That's up to Tracker, I think.
Somebody timestamp that.
It goes live, so you know, it goes explicit. I don't mind explicit.
The soft tires are starting to give up. I can't do that flat anymore.
Okay, we're not seeing any
Gone a bit wide there, Lard.
Rare glimpse of
Quite
the
a bit wide.
back of
Yeah, my
the car.
tyres are giving up as
I've just seen
Oh.
back of the car.
I can see Jay in my mirrors.
Come on, tracker.
I know.
I can see clearly now. It's gone.
I can see all obstacles in my way.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer.
You can slow Jay down a bit. I could catch him up and get him a blue flag penalty.
That'll be good.
Well, that'll be a bit of a thing, wouldn't it?
Only working as a team. God, it's not like team orders.
You're making your own team orders.
Yeah.
Oh, we have our own team orders. Will is faster than you.
That's not a team order, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Please acknowledge this. Yes, I acknowledge. Oh, got nice round 12-13 there. That was best I've taken it all race.
Unfortunately for you, it was the same for me. Assuming 12-13 is the left-right.
Yeah.
The hairpin. Yeah, I've just taken them really nicely.
And half tenth down on my best.
Yeah, I put 3 down on mine, it's disappointing.
Okay, the car behind is catching
I
up.
surely
5
can't
tenths
make
a
it
lap,
5 seconds in 4
tenths.
laps.
Apparently you're catching up at 5 tenths a lap. 5 tenths. 3 laps to go.
Four laps to go.
4 laps to go, sorry.
Give me some credit.
The gap to the car behind is 4.4 seconds.
Apparently the car behind is 4.4. You've caught up big time there.
What did you do wrong?
I misjudged my apex. I went completely wide. Completely wide at
Doing
turn.
a podcast chat, I would just concentrate on me chasing down Tracker.
This is gonna be it, isn't it?
I don't know, the lead for the front was pretty tasty there.
Yeah.
And if Lard hadn't pegged it, we'd have still been pretty much side by side, I think.
Yeah, because I was less than 2 seconds behind you after you passed. It was just
Yeah.
that, turn 13 that really cost me.
4.3. I'm only 4.3 in front of Jay.
Don't get your ERS, tracker. Use your ERS.
My ERS isn't deploying, it's automatic.
Yeah, mine.
I thought mine was automatic. It is automatic. Mine's come
And
up
I
saying
loaded up
2.
our range.
Whatever I'm picking up at the front half of the lap, Tracker, I'm losing it in the second half, so you're not doing too bad.
That's good. Got a balance then.
Yeah.
My engine does not sound healthy.
Yeah, after all that, you just have a retirement. Never mind.
That's probably what's going to happen. It does not sound healthy. Sounds like it's short.
The Williams doesn't.
Sounds like it's short shifting.
You'll get a thing if it does that. The gearbox.
Yeah.
I'd have a look at the way your car's looking at the moment in terms of bits on your heads-up display.
Tracker, I think you're safe. I've just been given a 3-second warning because I completely fucked up the hairpin. And now we're definitely explicit because we said the F word twice.
Don't worry about it.
Shall I go for the free-peat and say fuck?
There we go. Anyone who's left messages in the chat, I will get around to reading the chat, trust me. Just fully concentrating on this last bit. Because we've got 15
We're going to have
minutes.
time after the race.
We always do.
The tracker to go off, though, If the tracker goes off, even with a 3-second penalty, it's doable, isn't it?
I've got to lose 9 seconds in the next couple of laps to do that.
Put yourself down in lean fuel, mix, you'll be fine.
I might have to
Yeah,
fill
Jay,
that
don't
bit.
do your usual and run out of fuel.
I know, I've kept
You're
an eye on
known for
it.
that one.
I'm kind of lifting and coasting a little way just to save a little bit.
You can on this track. It's really nice. Especially that first called braking zone. Up to the straight.
My
Yeah.
tyres have gone off anyway. I'm definitely not going to catch you now.
There's only one lap of fuel.
That's why I
remaining.
ducked the hairpin.
Tell you what, I think I've had some luck in this today. We're doing this. We're doing this. We've got this.
You don't got this tracker. Stop believing in yourself.
Not
Don't
to
do that
down.
last time he went off after I'd said.
I think I've got this. Hey,
May
crafty
or may not
rebel.
have this.
Robin!
Robin.
Robin.
Hello,
Normal
everybody.
podcast.
Hello, everybody. I haven't said hello to in the podcast.
Final lap of the race.
In this
Yeah,
stream.
people on the audio
Continue my way down the
podcast,
straight.
a Robin has not just appeared on the track somewhere, like the seagulls at last year's race. There is not wildlife on the track.
There was a seagull. There's a seagull going into turn 2.
Wasn't that Vettel and Hamilton discussing it?
Yeah, at Canada, wasn't it? At Canada,
Yeah.
as I've been calling it.
Canadia.
Canada. Yeah?
It's all good. Will didn't lap me.
Oh, that's good. I'm halfway around the circuit. Well, he says.
The gap behind us is
Well
5
played, Will.
seconds.
You kept me
Oh.
honest there, dude. You kept me honest.
You two are good. We are the number 2 drivers, Jay. That's what we're gonna do. The 2 J's versus the 2 Wills.
Look at yourself, John. If I hadn't been rammed off the line at the start, I think it would have been a much closer race between you and me.
Yeah, I think.
If I had to be rammed off at the beginning,
Whoops.
I might have won.
Oh, wait, you did.
I went for the 3-stop strategy. If I hadn't gone 3-stop, we've gone 2-stop instead.
Yeah, that's maths.
Yeah, well, I went for the gamble. I've still got a podium, and I'm coming across the line. Let's just knock it up to Rich Mix. Hey, look at that! Yes, my first podium. Yeah, I'm having that.
Thanks, Michael.
Will's won. What a shock! Okay,
There you go. I wasn't that far behind.
so that's out. Oh, I've got a rare achievement. Ace is high. Obtained a rank of 11.
11.
Nice. So
Finish
who
with T now.
have I
I can
missed?
see our drivers making their way out now.
Ah,
It's
Matt
just a
3577.
flying
Hello,
team
how are you
performance, and it's the
doing?
culmination
Jazzy
of a
Jenny.
lot of
Hello.
Williams are your winners today.
Who else we missed? Got Yasser, Crafty Rebel. There we
All
are.
Brits.
Oh yes, I like that. Good flags. Good flags. Well, let's switch over to the to that one and talk. So, what else have we got to talk about? I've got Grosjean written down here. I don't know why, but I've got Grosjean written down. I think it's because at the pre-recording you mentioned something, Jay, about Grosjean. Not judging him on
Penalty.
Him in qualifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Norris and
Yeah. Norris and Grosjean, although it's a difficult one to decide whether Grosjean is at fault. He's definitely slowed down in the wrong space. That is certain. You can't get past that.
Mm.
But the fact that Haas have basically openly said they don't tell either of their drivers about the traffic.
Yeah.
Lando Norris has come from a long way back from where Grosjean is slowing down to try and give himself some space, and has ended up blocking Norris's quali lap, and therefore forced him to go again. He's been given a 3-place grid penalty for this. I don't think Grosjean is the one who should be getting penalised for it. It should be Haas as a team.
right.
Because Haas have basically held their hands up and just gone, we don't tell our drivers about traffic, and then that is what has caused the problem. Grosjean himself hasn't necessarily caused the problem, because he doesn't know Norris is coming,
Yeah.
especially not at that distance.
I think Gami just said that he was backed up by Vettel, which he was because he was trying to get a gas runner as well.
So by extension, is Vettel therefore to blame? Partially, it's not as cut and dry as Grosjean was in the wrong. He's been given a 3-place grid penalty and a point in his license. I think the point in his license makes sense.
Yeah.
The grid penalty doesn't.
Would you,
especially not this early in the season? It's a slap on the wrist at most.
Norris should have just had a brand new set of tyres from Pirelli and gone, well, there's a set of tyres you can use to re-qualify because that set was ruined. Would that have been better and not give Grosjean the penalty instead? So he's still got a chance to make a fast lap on a fresh set of tyres, so he's still got the same opportunity. But Grosjean was wrong, but like you say, it's just a slap on the wrist and say, don't do it again.
Yeah.
Would that have been a fairer sort of...
like I say, I agree he should have been penalised on his racing licence that they get for the season. Oh, it's for the calendar year, isn't it? Not the season.
Calendar year.
Yeah.
So it's rolling, isn't it?
I don't think that it's a 3-place grid penalty.
He's got to watch it as well, hasn't he, Grosjean? He's already got 8 points on his licence.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, because it's a year after they happened that they disappear.
Yeah.
What we got on here? What else? So, John put somebody recorded footage of a monster big alligator crossing a Grove Green last weekend, and then he also followed it up with, "Has anyone watched the F1 Netflix series?"
I have got it scheduled to watch, but I've not got round to watching it yet.
I haven't got Netflix.
Neither have I.
I haven't yet. It's something I should look into watch.
Gamage, Vettel was on an in-lap when went really slow. Flat spotted both tyres and was his excuse. And he agrees. Find a team and give money to charity.
Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. But would you do that with all fines for all teams then, in that case? Any time a team gets fined? Because a lot of the time it's, in terms of the grand scheme of things for Formula 1, the fine does not always kind of look like it's a lot of money. It still is physically a lot of money for the likes of us. But to Formula 1, it's really not. So would you take all fines for an entire season and give them to a charity?
I think it's a good idea. I would, because I think Formula 1's rich enough to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depends what charity, I suppose.
Not getting all the teams to agree to it, but then if there ends up being a split with some teams do agree and some teams don't, would you want to be one of the teams that doesn't?
Gamage has gone yes in the chat. He's gone yes. So he says he agrees.
Yeah.
John, I'm not going to read your comment out. Sorry, I can have it on the stream, but I'm not going to read it out on for the podcast.
I agree with said comment though.
Officially not agree with that.
Officially not agree. Gamage has just gone a charity, nothing to do with the FIA or random charities. Or random charities. I think that's a good idea. Right.
I don't know. How about like something like that?
Michael Patterson won. Have they decided who's going to fill the role of Charlie Whiting? Charlie Whiting used to do. Not say anything about it.
Have they currently got?
Thanks,
Michael Massey.
You said 3 or 4 people currently doing the job of Charlie Whiting.
Yeah, the actual race director himself is Michael Massey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything else they haven't said about.
But they've got 4 people all doing the job of Charlie Whiting, which goes to prove how much Charlie Whiting was doing.
Yeah.
And well.
And how
he was doing the job as well. Yeah.
Still well liked. He was. Yeah.
I noticed there's still a lot of stuff around the paddock as well, saying thank you, Charlie, and stuff.
That'll be there for the season, if not the following season, to be quite honest. And deservedly so.
Yeah.
As far as they mentioned him in IndyCar last week, so that shows the mark of the man.
Yeah.
It really does, doesn't it?
So,
So
are we
the
going to
thing we
do
haven't mentioned-
predictions?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Before we get to predictions, the only
Yeah.
other thing we haven't mentioned is that this is race 999.
It is next time round in China. It's race 1000 of the Formula One World Championship, race 1000. Can you believe it? Since 1952. I was thinking.
What's the word? What's the word for that? With 100 is a centenary. What's 1,000?
A millennial?
A millennium?
No, mil. It's got to be mil, isn't it?
Yeah,
No, yeah.
we should have looked that up, really, shouldn't we?
It's
We should.
bloody lots.
Yes,
It is.
many numbers.
Many numbers. So yeah, we'll talk more about that at China, if I'm honest. Let's do predictions. So what we're going to predict, we're predicting first, second, third. This is where someone could do with writing this down.
Or we'll just listen back.
Yeah, we'll listen back. So first, second, third, fastest lap, and
Best of the rest, wooden spoon.
best of the rest. Best of the rest, wooden spoon. Oh well, wooden spoon. Okay. Who wants to kick it off?
Go, Jay.
Go on, Jay.
Go on, then. I'm going to be playing the safest of safe and follow qualifying results on that and say Leclerc is going to take his maiden win, followed by Vettel, and then Hamilton in third.
Yeah. Best of the rest.
Shall I stick with what I was saying earlier on and go with Grosjean?
Grosjean. Okay, Grosjean. And
Not Grosjean to finish fourth, Grosjean to be best of the rest.
okay.
Yeah. So like 7th, 8th, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wooden spoon.
It feels harsh to say it's going to be Kubica, but it's going to be Kubica.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should change wooden spoon to the performance that we think is going to be, they're going to do something particularly stupid.
There's a difference between doing something stupid and finishing last.
Exactly. So, like you
Yeah.
said, that's a bit harsh on Kubica, and it's always
Yeah.
going to be Williams, isn't it?
Okay.
So let's
Yeah.
go for an idiot move, or somebody's going to do something stupid as the wooden spoon.
Idiot of the week.
There you go.
Idiot of the week. Verstappen.
Verstappen.
He's gonna try and move down the inside on somebody on that hairpin, and he's gonna mess it up.
Okay. Right. Will.
Ooh. Leclerc. I think he'll keep it. Hamilton, then Vettel.
Right.
Interesting.
Best of the rest. I'm going to go Carlos Sainz. He
Nice.
did well here last year. And wooden spoon. I'll go for the torpedo. It's safe money.
Idiot. Okay, lad.
Right. So I'm going to change the prediction I put on the official Fantasy GP.
Right.
Yeah, because that's not mine either.
Yeah, because you're looking at it from. I mean, that was based on what we saw at Melbourne rather than qualifying. That I made that prediction. So I am going to put it Vettel first,
Right.
Leclerc second,
Yeah.
and Bottas third. I think Hamilton's going to be fourth.
Oh.
Oh, that's intriguing. Just before you move on to anything else, there, are you suggesting that Vettel's going to take the place from Leclerc, or do you think he's going to get given the place?
Interesting.
I have this feeling he's going to get given.
Oh.
Fair enough.
He has so much pressure on him to become world champion, and the team is behind him, even though Leclerc is doing fantastic. That's set up for Vettel this year. They want him to get that world title. So I think they're going to be doing that throughout this season to make sure he is in the running for it.
Mm. Yeah.
What about your best of the rest and the
Yeah.
idiot of the week?
I mean, best of the rest is a tough one. I mean, we could go for. I think either Carlos Sainz or Lando Norris is going to come up for it. I think McLaren's going to do very well.
Yeah.
And idiot of the week, probably Marcus Ericsson.
Just generally.
Yeah, just generally Marcus.
Right. Okay.
He's not even in this
He's
season,
not
is
even-
he?
Oh, I was going to say. Grosjean. Grosjean moment there. It was Elks' fault.
Wait, hang on. Let's see.
Especially we are racing F1 2018, and he
Yeah.
is in the
Yeah.
game we're playing.
We are going to wrap up the podcast in a minute and stream.
Magnussen.
Yes,
That's
yes.
who I was going to say. Magnussen.
K-Mag.
Magnussen.
K-Mag.
Right, okay. So, my predictions are Vettel first, Leclerc second, Hamilton third. I think best of the rest, I'm going to go with K-Mag. Still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the thing's just shut down. That's why. K-Mag as best of the rest. And I think Idiot of the Week, I am going to go with Grosjean.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. He's either going to be best of the rest or an absolute fool.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the two, isn't he?
He doesn't do in between. He's one extreme on the other.
Yeah. It's going to be one of the two. So I'm going to wrap this up, and then we're actually going to do a proper wrap up as well. That's it for this week's podcast. My special thanks to my guests, J-Dub.
Quite all right.
Will's Toy Clements.
It's been a pleasure.
And Lard Teammaker.
No worries.
Just to give you guys information, you can follow us on Twitter at Turn1 Podcast. You can follow us on Podomatic because we're not on iTunes yet. Same thing at Turn1 Podcast. And you can watch us on qualifying evenings on this Twitch on Tracker 57's account. But until next time, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.